Cloudcast Media. Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, amplifying the voices of social impact organizations, entrepreneurs, local nonprofits, and other community champions who shape the culture, creativity, and connectivity of San Diego. Brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, bringing good things to San Diego for over 60 years. Learn more about what is good for you and good for all by visiting www.missionfed.com.
I'm Drew Schlosberg of Cloudcast Media, and always a good day when we have our friends in from Scripps Ranch Theater, people that have been doing a performance of Vanity Fair. Jacquelyn Ritz, the director, is joining us. How you doing, Jacquelyn?
I am well. Thanks for having us, Drew.
Of course. We can't talk enough about all the cool things that are coming out of that theater and all the other ones that are located around San Diego County. You're joined by your colleague, Alyssa Anne Austin. She is an actress in Vanity Fair. How you doing, Alyssa?
Very good. Thank you.
Very good. Joined by my co-host, Kristen Fogel. She's the executive director of San Diego Writers, Inc., is a playwright, is an actress herself, loves the theater.
Not for a minute, but yeah. No, keep going. It's fine.
But your name sounds familiar. I know you.
Yeah,
I'm familiar with her work. Yeah.
She makes me say these things. Exactly. So, Kristen, why don't you get us started?
Yeah, I'd love to. Jacquelyn, can we just get started with the play? What's it about? Tell us all the little juicy details.
Oh, it's so juicy. It's the story of two women. It's the retelling of Thackeray's book, Vanity Fair, which is the story of these women. And the way Thackeray painted them was very simple, I think, and didn't really delve deep into what a woman was going through at that time. And so now we get to see them, and we get to hear their perspectives, and we get to see their backstory and their striving, their passion, their heartbreaks.
Very cool.
Yeah, it's really, really cool. A lot of depth in it, and very quickly told. You know, his stories were serials, kind of like we would watch Game of Thrones. They would put out these little serials once a week in the newspaper, and people would be dying to hear what's next, what's coming up. So this was put together as those stories. So each little scene, you're like, oh, no, don't go. Tell me what happens. And then the next group comes in and tells you what happened.
So fun. And where are we at in the process? When is it making its way to the stage? Are you already doing your thing?
No, we're going to tech this weekend. Yeah, we're QTQing today, so that means we're thick in it.
Nice. Yeah. I was actually talking so I usually work over at San Diego Writers Inc., but on Thursdays I work at COSA, and Justin Lang came in yesterday to help me with monologues, and he was talking about this great show that he did, and I was like, I think they're coming on the show tomorrow, so... Yeah. So
he's wonderful. He's playing Dobbin, the heartbeat of the show.
Nice,
and he's doing a beautiful job.
Great. He's so talented. Did you go by Alyssa or Alyssa Anne?
Alyssa.
Okay. So what attracted you to the show?
Oh gosh. Well, I, truth be told, I'm an English major, a classics girl at heart. So I have always had a special place in my heart for those novels. Les Miserables is actually my favorite book. I'm such a nerd. And I actually was introduced to the play in 2019, I believe, which was the year I met Jackie. I auditioned for her back in 2019 for a different project, and it didn't work out. But we kind of built a relationship, and she emailed me and said, hey, sorry, it didn't work out. But
not this time.
Yeah. But I'm thinking of doing some classical adaptations in the season next year. And here's the script. Would you take a look at it? Let me know what you think. And it was Vanity Fair. Mm-hmm. And that was my introduction to the incredible playwright that is Kate Hamill. Mm-hmm. She's fantastic. And she adapts these, classic pieces for modern audiences with a feminist viewpoint, really elevating female voices and female stories in a truthful, compelling way. And so I just read it, and I just really fell in love with it immediately. But you know what happened? Jackie said, I think it's going to be in the next season. And the next season was 2020. So it did not happen. But Jackie and I stayed in touch. I took class with her. We built a great relationship. And, here we are. We're getting to do the play in 2024. And it's been something that I've been wishing and hoping for a long time, and, kind of had at the back of my mind. So to be able to be doing this play with Jackie, with the incredible group of people that she has assembled in this role, which is such a role. I feel very grateful.
When's the run? Goes from when to when?
We open on the 25th. That's our opening night.
Right.
So our previews are the 23rd, 24th.
Right.
And then we go through June 6th. 6th.
Yeah, and they can find it on the website
16th,
too.
16th,
That's why we have Google.
Yeah, I know. I know a very small part of what's going on.
You're in it. You're just in it right now. And,
Yeah. I do need to add, though, Alyssa's point was when we started talking and we realized there was so much more to this show and so much theatricality that we could bring to it. And then she and I started collaborating and decided that we needed to choreograph the show as well. And we brought on a wonderful a third person, Michonne Tucker, who's also an amazing choreographer. So in terms of what you're going to see in movement and music, and Eliza Vidar, who is doing the music and the original compositions, it really has kind of blossomed into this wonderful piece of theatricality.
Very cool. And Jackie, you've been at Scripps Ranch. You've done shows there before in the past, yeah?
I directed Lost in Yonkers last season.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
JP, who was in your cast, is in my class, actually.
Oh, God, JP. He's
so
wonderful.
talented.
And Giovanni, both of them got Craig Nolan Awards last year for that show and other bodies of work. And then before that, Susan, help me. I did, and Neither Have I Wings to Fly, which was an Irish show. Yes. And that was a beautiful story from a play that I had seen in Chicago and that I always loved. And a couple more before that, yeah. And then I had assistant directed. I think it was the first place I ever assistant directed in town, and that was right when I moved here, so 2011 or something.
Okay.
I had my teeny little baby on my lap and watching the shows, yeah.
I love that.
She's 14 now.
Not so teeny.
Is your baby into the arts?
That is such a great story. My oldest, my first baby, just got accepted into the Lear School of Drama, which is the Trinity College.
Congratulations.
Dublin, training program.
Wow.
And he's also my assistant director on this project.
Oh, that's so fun.
Yeah, his name is Nick Doherty, and he's doing a beautiful job for us. He's a great sounding board. And the fact that he's, the next generation, it's really helpful, I think, to have that perspective in terms of we are trying to create a play for now based on a classical story, and how does it affect each of the individuals that are going to be in our audience.
Right, exactly. We're chatting with Jacquelyn Ritz. She's the director of Vanity Fair, joined by her colleague Alyssa Anne Austin. She'll be acting in this performance that'll be at the Scripps Ranch Theater. The run will be on May the 23rd through June the 16th. I'm Drew Schlosberg. You're listening to another edition of Drew Schlossberg's Spotlight on the Community Show. We are the nation's longest running community podcast, now in our 18th year, believe it or not. Brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union for 6 decades, just doing great things in San Diego County. Joined by my co-host, Kristen Fogel. She's the executive director of San Diego Writers, Inc. They're celebrating their 20th anniversary this year. That's right.
That's how I know. I just directed We Don't Say Kill.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
You see, there's always a connection at the Spotlight Show. There's always a connection. So, Alyssa, do you come from a family of performers, artists, aunts, uncles, pets, anything?
That's a great pet.
It's definitely pets, right?
That's a great question. Not really, I would say. My father is a Navy veteran. My mother's a preschool teacher. But I grew up... and I should also say I'm the oldest of 4 with 3 younger brothers, which once you meet me, I think that tells you a lot about my personality.
4 brothers, I don't know.
Yeah, 3 brothers. And growing up, my mom was very encouraging of us trying everything. And I really landed on dance and the arts. So I danced my whole life. Started ballet at the age of 3 and really did that through high school and college competitively. I danced at Penn State University.
Oh, Nittany Islands.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I kind of, I had explored theater when I was younger, but by the time I got to high school, I kind of just focused on dancing. And then I, graduated from Penn State, moved out to San Diego 2 months after graduating school, and kind of just did the corporate thing. And I, was working in corporate marketing. I worked in corporate marketing for about 7 years.
Where'd you work?
I worked all over. I moved out here to work for CBS Interactive. I worked in their college sports division, and then I worked for a market research company, and then I worked for a couple different marketing agencies. And then around 2016, I started feeling like, what am I really doing? Like what I don't really feel connected to this work, and kind of was lacking a sense of purpose. And around that time, I also was thinking, well, I wonder if I could maybe start dancing again. Or, wow, I wonder if I could even start acting again. Yeah, is there theater here in San Diego? Is that something I could even do? And oh my gosh, it just was kismet moving to a place where there's such a rich, incredible artistic and theater scene. So in 2016, I did my first audition in 10 years. I went in for a professional audition, and it was like, oh my gosh, if I want to do this, I gotta get to work. So I got cast in my first show later that year, which was a chorus line at Coronado Playhouse.
Nice.
And it kind of was just that feeling of, oh, right.
You're home.
Yeah. And that's why I think at the end of the day, theater is so important too, is the connection piece. It allows us to connect with people, whether it's our fellow artists or team members, and most importantly, the audience, in a way that is unmatched. And it's so incredible. And I feel so lucky to have been really just doing that more and more and more since 2016 here in San Diego.
Well, we love having Scripps Ranch Theater, Oceanside Theater Company, everything in between.
All of them.
And exactly, just shout out to Susan Clausen, of course, for doing that. We really can't talk enough about how important theater is. Live theater, obviously during the pandemic, was a little bit different than that. It's an equalizer, brings us together. We need to be brought together in this very, very crazy, non-empathetic world. Heaven forbid we actually bring that back into the solar system. That'd be nice to do. And I know, Kristen, that's something that you're very passionate about as well, correct?
Yeah. I was wondering with Chorus Line, because I was like, oh, it's one of my favorite musicals. Drew, do you have a favorite musical or play?
I do. And there's many of them, actually. I was very, very fortunate. One of my close friends was Joe Cobriner. Joe ran Broadway San Diego for many, many years. It was called San Diego Playgoers at the time, and he was the director of marketing and sales for Old Globe. And so he got me this old fuddy-duddy into going to all these performances. And we went like every single week and so forth. So I got to say, Fiddler on the Roof is up there.
That's a good one. Beautiful.
Yeah, exactly. Mamma Mia, I enjoyed. So if you don't mind, I'm going to spend the rest of the interview talking about my favorite.
Yeah, just keep listening them off. That's fine. We'll sing some Little Shop. We'll call it a day.
Yeah, forget about Vanity Fair and all that.
Right.
No, if we come back from break, we're going to talk more about Vanity Fair and talk about how you like directing this play as well. And obviously, I know you're very enthusiastic about acting in it, Alyssa, as well. I know Kristen has a whole bunch of questions. We always save at the second half of the interview, what can our listeners do to support your efforts? Obviously, go to the play. But support theater anyway is so critical. When we return with Jacquelyn Ritz, director of Vanity Fair, joined by her colleague, Alyssa Anne Austin, an actress in Vanity Fair, playing at Scripps Ranch Theater May 23rd to June the 16th. It's a great venue. I'm Drew Schlosberg. You've been listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg's Spotlight on the Community Show, joined by my host, Kristen Fogel, Executive Director of San Diego Writers, Inc. We will be right back.
When you do your banking with Mission Fed, you get great rates on auto and home loans. That's good for you, but something good also happens for a lot of other people. We're not for profit, so we put money back into the community to help lots of great nonprofits to keep San Diego strong. So you're not just getting something good, you're doing something good. Come to Mission Fed. It's banking that's good for all.
Brand amplification is the DNA of Cloudcast Media, and our code is the powerful blending of sound, voice, and storytelling to lift local brands and their communities. Whether it is our Brandcast, Schoolcast, or Causecast platforms, the unifying ethos is all about this community, the one you call home. If you dare to dream and want to explore the brand amplification of Cloudcast, a national leader in local podcasting and other Winfluence strategies, please visit us at cloudcast.us.
I'm Drew Schlosberg of Cloudcast Media, and just thanks for another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show. We are the nation's longest-running community podcast, now in our 18th year, brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union for 6 decades, just doing good things for those living in San Diego County. Honored to have in the studio with us today Jacquelyn Ritz, director of Vanity Fair, joined by her colleague Alyssa Anne Austin, actress of Vanity Fair, playing at the Scripps Ranch Theater, joined by my colleague Kristen Fogel. She is the executive director of San Diego Writers, Inc. and co-host of Spotlight on the Community. I know you've got a question,
I have lots of questions. Let's get back to Vanity Fair. Who is this for? Who's going to enjoy it? I mean, everyone, but, talk to us about who should come and see the show and why.
Well, I love what Drew said about including community. Right. This is one of those plays where we talk directly to the audience. The audience is part of the whole journey. The first thing we come out and we say is, "Hey, what do you think? Are you guys getting what you want? Are you going for it? Are you enjoying it when you have it?"
Yeah.
Like, these are the big questions of Vanity Fair, and I think that's the same thing that Kate Hamill and Thackeray ask throughout the novel. Are you getting what you want? Are you going for it? How do you feel now? Those are the big questions. So we're here, and we're this space. You were just saying, this space is really beautiful. It's this very interactive. You're what, 24 inches from the audience? So at any time, Alyssa could be right there, speaking right to you.
Yeah.
And so you feel very involved, I think. And the fact that we have all this music and dancing and interaction, and the manager, played by Dagmar Fields, she comes right out and she says, she'll smack you on the knee if you come and sit in the front row, and she'll say, "Hey, what do you think? What are you doing?" It's just really, it's a community endeavor, I think, and it's going to be very vibrant, very fun.
I have a question, actually. So we're seeing a lot of this where there were plays that were supposed to be produced pre-pandemic, and then they're kind of, coming out now years and years and years later. So I guess with that being said, do you relate to the material differently now? What has changed in the rereading of that script or the reworking of it?
I'm so glad you asked that question. I think that was something that I really focused on in my director notes. And that's that we really get one life, right? We really get this one time. And what are you going to do with it?
Yeah.
And are we going to be petty and simple about it? Are we going to really embrace, enjoy, interact, have these incredible relationships, connect? Enjoy, live, connect.
Yeah.
And I think that's what this play says. And as Alyssa pointed out, I was supposed to direct this in 2020. My son and I had flown to Boston to see a production of it, one of the first productions of it. It was wonderful. And we flew back, and it was February.
Yeah.
It was literally late February when we flew back from that trip. And then it went south. And then the other thing that's happened is, we got to get people back in. Because we're doing only 2- and 3-person shows.
Yeah.
Until we can get more people in. This is a 7-person show, and they play 35 characters. So there's a lot going on. It's really it's as vibrant as a musical that you'll see. And so we're trying to just really let's create, let's thrive.
Yeah.
Let's explode.
Speaking to the many, many characters, Alyssa, do you play a lot of characters? Like, this feels very physically taxing. I'm exhausted, but talk about that.
Yes. So I am one of 2 characters. Myself and Michaela Macias, who plays Amelia, we play one character the whole show. And the other members of the cast, the 5 other actors, are, I guess, between them playing 33 characters. Oh my gosh. So I guess I'm lucky in that respect, although it also should be said that I rarely leave the stage.
Yeah, so that's a lot.
Yes. The play moves so quickly. There's how many scenes in it, Jack?
At least 40.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
wow.
it's really just a whirlwind. We're starting to do full runs now, and not even at our running pace yet, but definitely one of those shows where the show starts and then it's just like a freight train. It just goes. And that's what we want. We want to just kind of sweep the audience into it. So is it demanding physically? Yes. But I think that's what makes it so engaging. And like Jackie said, it is a play, but we are, with her brilliant idea and kind of our collaboration of incorporating music and movement and all these other storytelling elements, it's just incredibly vibrant and rich, and it's worth it. It's worth the physical hustle.
And Dennis Floyd built us a beautiful set. It evokes the feeling that there's 2 theater boxes, but we have all these great spaces to create these 18 to 25 different locations very quickly.
It's really like a playground when I think about it.
It's like a playground. Yeah. It is. It's like a theater playground.
No, it's all cool. So what obviously going to the plays are important to do. What else can we do to support what you folks are doing? Do you have summer camps? Do you have different types of programs?
I think it's always great to support arts education.
Yeah.
I teach a class. That's one of the ways I've gotten to meet a lot of the members of the community.
Right.
Mostly because it's, what are you guys doing? Where are you meeting? How are we building our theater community?
Right. Yeah.
You know,
right.
So we can tell our stories. And I think I wanted that. So I said, let's start this class. I met a wonderful, actually I'd met her in other shows as well, Caitlin Slater. And we started doing a lot of improv in my class because I think that's a wonderful way to release character, to release the joy of theater. And she's taken on this job of, she's doing this summer camp at SIT for the ages 8 to 12. And she's a really, really talented, not only talented improv performer, she's a talented artist as well. But they're doing a 2-week seminar. Is it a workshop? It's a workshop, I think, that will have a performance at the end. So it's for the kids, 8 to 12. I think that would be a great thing if you have kids this summer who are like, Mom, let's watch some TV. No, let's go do some theater. Let's go get up and play some games, some theater games with your friends. That'd be a great thing you could do.
See, what we like to do is have the kids that are going to be performing to come on our show. We have a lot of young folks that come in, whether from the Girl Scouts or wherever the case may be, that have done X, Y, and Z. They come in. They love to be on the air. And then I give them the opportunity to co-host if they're interested in doing it, and they do. In fact, they take over the show, which is great, as they should in this aspect. We can't really get enough young voices on our show and have them from their own voice talk about it. So question, for you on this, Jacquelyn, I'll ask you from a director standpoint, and I think you've answered a little bit about Alyssa. How would you say this play is in terms of difficulty to direct compared to the other ones you've done, or not as difficult?
I think it requires. The problem with theater is there's so much to do in so little time.
Exactly.
The Moscow Art Theater used to not even open their plays until they were ready. We have 750 hours for 7 actors to get everything done. So it's a high paced, fast paced work environment. I think that's the toughest thing. The other thing, I love this story. I was just telling the cast this the other day. Mark Ruffalo tells the story of, he was playing the lead character in this movie, and the director came over and adjusted one of the extras in the background and just kind of tapped him on the arm and kept going. And it was that moment where he realized, I am one piece of this whole process. And I think it's the managing of all of the pieces and I hope that everybody feels heard. I hope that they're bringing their A game. I believe that's why I picked the people that I picked, so that they come on and say, I'm ready. What can I do? I want to try this. Can I try this? Yes, try that. Make that happen. Make it so. So it's kind of the all the things that have to get done in a little bit of time. That's the hardest thing for me.
Right, exactly. How about for you, Alyssa?
Oh gosh, I mean, I would say the same. I am one of those actors that if I know I have a big line load or something coming up, I'll start preparing. So I'll say I started memorizing this play probably in like February, just because I knew I had a lot of work.
Which is a great idea. She came in ready, and you guys are going to see the work that she's done. It's gorgeous. And I think a lot of that is because you were so prepared.
Yeah.
That's one of the number one things they say for actors. How do you get the job? You become prepared. You come prepared. Yeah. And when you do camera work, as you probably know, you were there because you gave the audition that they needed in their performance. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Thank you, Jackie. And also to Jackie's credit in terms of the rehearsal process, Jackie does an excellent job of fostering an environment where play can happen freely. Sometimes it's an environment where, well, this is what you're doing, so come in and do it. But it's very much a collaboration. And I think I speak for my fellow actors as well, where it is a show that even kind of goes into the world of clowning a little bit in some scenes. So it requires silliness. It requires bravery. It requires, in some of the scenes, real emotional hardship. That's something that I'm getting to live through in this. And one of the things that I get to experience is, severe highs and then also extreme, extreme, extreme lows, which is such a gift as an actor when you get to have that journey. And Jackie does such a wonderful job of fostering an environment where we feel safe to do that.
And I thank you for that. And I think that is important because I think that is one of the things that connects us to community. I remember being in a talk back and I had this monologue. It was a 3-page monologue, and the character finally lets everything out. And at the talk back, the woman was crying, and she turned to me and she said, I had no idea anyone in the world felt that way.
Ugh.
And it was that moment. It was that moment that I will never forget.
Connection.
The connection to community, to other individuals.
Yeah. Well, in the beauty of, the theater, I'm preaching to the congregation, all three of you, of course, you don't know what part of that performance impacts that person in row 3, seat 8, and is going to come back and tell his or her friends about, man, this thing hit something that I haven't unlocked in many, many moons. And that's the beauty of it. So Jacquelyn and Alyssa, wishing you nothing but phenomenal success at Vanity Fair, May the 23rd through June 16th in Scripps Ranch Theater.
Could I add, I think people should get their tickets because I think the first weekend is sold out.
Okay.
Nice.
So
you heard it here.
yeah.
Get your tickets.
Get them now.
Yeah.
Right now.
Exactly. Enjoyed the conversation and wishing you great success on the Vanity Fair.
Drew, thank you so much for having us.
Absolutely. My pleasure. Jacquelyn Ritz, Director of Vanity Fair, Alyssa Anne Austin, an actress. Vanity Fair, I'm Drew Schlosberg. You've been listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union. Another great job by my co-host, Kristen Fogel, Executive Director of San Diego Writers, Inc. We hope you enjoyed the show.
You've been listening to an episode of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, amplifying the voices of social impact organizations, entrepreneurs, local nonprofits, and other community champions who shape the culture, creativity, and connectivity of San Diego community. Brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, bringing good things to San Diego for over 60 years. Learn more about what is good for you and good for all by visiting www.missionfed.com.
Cloudcast Media.